Melissa Bell begins our coverage tonight out front live in Kharkiv, Ukraine. Melissa, what is the latest there tonight?
The latest is that to the south, around the town of Lyman, the counteroffensive appears to have slowed up against the Russians fighting back. Erin, it is here in the Kharkiv region that strewn military equipment that you showed that is of primary concern. Ukrainian authorities saying that they fear that also those Russian soldiers who maybe didn't make it back across the border may still be in the region, and they're worried about what attacks there may be here. It is, of course, about taking control of this kind of region, the 6,000 square kilometers that have been taken, much of that here in the Kharkiv region, and then keeping control of it. Also, Erin, trying to get help to those parts of the country that have been liberated. And remember that there is fears, there are concerns amongst Ukrainians about who may have collaborated and who simply try to survive.
Larissa Harkivska is ashamed of what little she has, food given by the Russians. Mainly rice, flour and sugar. For 6 months, she says, she and her 35-year-old daughter were virtual prisoners of their apartment, too scared to go out. The medical help Svetlana needs after an accident 15 years ago, impossible to get. Most people, says Larissa, left Shevchenkove through Russia. Only the poorest left behind, living on what they can grow, apples and watermelon mostly. Larissa's empty fridge now her primary concern.
Enough for 1 month.
She's embarrassed, she says, will show the world how empty it is, but tries nonetheless to offer us some of the watermelon preserve she's just made, before showing us around a town liberated on Friday after several days of fighting. The shops, now closed, were for 6 months only affordable for Russian soldiers, she says.
They mocked people. Sometimes they killed. There were so many of them, and they were so young.
The arrival of Ukrainian soldiers, a relief for Larissa and her friend Maria, but almost too much to digest.
There is psychological abuse, and there is violence. For me, psychological abuse is worse. We were sitting in the basement for 2 days, and then our husbands came and said our soldiers are here. And it was just tears of happiness.
Happiness at the change of hands, but uncertainty still about how to survive and what the immediate future holds.
Now, bear in mind, Erin, that those parts of the country are still under the subject of a media blackout, and we had to be very careful what we could show. There was a police station right next door, for instance, where people were having their phones checked to see whether they'd collaborated or not. Remember that this was a regime, a political regime that was in place for 6 months. And so what Ukrainians are having to deal with is not only the fear of Russians from without, but a newfound suspicion from within, Erin.
Yeah, absolutely. I know they said 10 days and trying to sweep the collaborators and the questions of what happens and how these people are treated. And it's the beginning of something in so many ways, not the end. Melissa, thank you. I want to go now to former U.S. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel. And Secretary, I so much appreciate your taking the time. I wanted to start by getting your perspective on where we stand. You know, people hear this blitzkrieg of a counteroffensive and you know, have hope for Ukraine. And let me just show a map for everyone of where we are. The areas in solid yellow are the areas that Ukraine says it's reclaimed from Russia, right? So it's a very significant amount of territory, but obviously relative to the entire front, it's a more than 1,000-mile front. So it's a small portion. But the area is in Kharkiv in the east. And Secretary, what I wanted to ask you is, Russia says it was outmanned in this counteroffensive by Ukraine 8-1. A senior Russian official says that. And that's hugely significant because obviously overall coming into the war, Ukraine had fewer than 200,000 active duty forces. Russia had nearly 1 million. So to outnumber Russia 8-1, Ukraine had to have moved a lot of forces from somewhere else into this region, and they can't sustain this indefinitely. So with that perspective, what do you think? Will Ukraine be able to hold these gains and sort of continue this counteroffensive elsewhere?
Well, thanks, Aaron. We don't know. I mean, there are two big dynamics here among many dynamics that will play out and answer your question. One is how the Russians will respond to this, what's just happened to them. I mean, Putin started this war. Putin can't afford to lose this war. And you mentioned some of the reasons why: internal problems in Russia, other reasons more significant than that. The second part of this is your question about, did the Ukrainians move troops into this area so that they had the ability for the blitzkrieg? I suspect that they did. They had to move some troops. Where they took those troops from, I don't know. But this would have been a strategic issue and calculation that they made, that it was whatever they had to do, it was worth it. And they also would have had good intelligence to show that the Russians were weak in this area. Logistics have always been a problem for the Russians here in the last 7 months.
Yeah.
And they continue to be a problem.
So you were serving as defense secretary when Russia invaded and annexed Crimea in 2014, and now, General Zaluzhny, the commander of the Ukrainian forces, has taken credit for the missile attacks that took out the Russian Air Force, the Russian planes there, and has said there's going to be a lot more where that came from. Saying that that's the ambition is to go that far to retake Crimea. Do you think Ukraine could pull off a full victory as defined by Crimea is back in Ukraine?
Well, I think, again, this is an unanswered question. I think what the Ukrainians are doing, and from what I've seen, and maybe I have a little better educated understanding of all this than many. I don't have the specifics of the intelligence. I haven't seen it. But what they're doing with what they've got and what we've been able to provide them, and the sophistication of our weaponry has gotten better that we've given them, plus our intelligence is much better that we're working with them on, and the Ukrainian troops have gotten much better. All of those things say to me that there's a lot of possibilities here.